Hello and welcome to our weekly live inspiration show. Today I had the privilege to talk with Suriati and which is an entrepreneur, and together we are going to dive deeper into the topic of fear and how this impacts your life and how you can let go of fear, break free from your fear in order to build your business. So, welcome everyone who is watching us live. Please hashtag live, and who is watching us on replay, hashtag replay. And let's get started. So, welcome, Suriati. Would you like to introduce yourself and let our audience know a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yes. Thank you so much, Valeria, for having me. Truly appreciate being able to come on your program. My name is Suriati, born and raised in Singapore. And I've lived I live in Norway for 14 years now. So I'm calling you from Norway now. So my first business is in travel. So we focus on the Northern Lights. But of course, as you know, with the pandemic, all hell broke loose. So I could not run my travel agency. So I had to, pivot just like everybody else. So that's when I went into online coaching. So I was helping a lot of people to find their voice. And I had, I think that was like, how long was it? A 7-week program for public speaking, as well as finding your voice online, being visible. And then it led me to also run a program on how to write books, as in, for entrepreneurs, how to find your voice and then put your voice out there in terms of a book. Moving on from there, I realized that the coaching world is, of course, not that easy. So I found something else because I wanted to look into more of passive income. So that journey, that search, whatever that you search for, it will just come to you. And that search for passive income led me to a new platform into a health product, which is called Aulura Pens. And I've been doing it for about 2 years now. And it has given me the passive income that I was looking for. And yes, and it given me the opportunity to work with a lot of ladies, powerful, talented ladies all over the world, building networks, building teams, building health, and building wealth with a lot of communities all over the world. So that's what I've been with.
Sounds very exciting. Wow,
Yeah.
Sarati, you've had a couple of entrepreneurial journeys already, so behind you. And yeah, let's dive deeper into fear then. How has fear manifested in your life and how you have dealt with fear in moments of crisis or in moments of low moments?
Yeah, definitely. I think you know what, Valerie, when you were asking me, what topic shall we talk about, right? And I was going back and forth. Goodness, Valerie, you are so patient with me. And eventually, I spoke to a lady who just was just gonna start her, her debut into the entrepreneurial world. So I was speaking to her just before I finalized this topic, and then it actually brought me back to my journey of fear, and I believe I registered my company in the date was 11 December 2013, but it was only until 2015 that's when I really had my first group of tourists. Now that has got to do with a lot of fear. It's a lot of resistance to start, and it brought me back to the journey. So when I came here, I was really struggling to find a job, and of course, there's a lot of things that I could be doing, but of course, I wanted to do something that is in line with what I have experienced in, that is research. So I was doing a lot of research projects in Singapore, and but I could not find something in that field. So it led me to apply. I think I applied for about 300 over positions. And I did go for some interviews. There was some second and third and rounds, but I never got it.
Mm.
So what happened was that I joined this particular program. It was a pilot program in Oslo, where they were getting a lot of foreigners to get into entrepreneurship. So I found two, what do you call it, coaches. Bless them forever. And because of them, I got the courage to go in. So I remember the very first time I met one of the coaches, and I told him that if I'm gonna fail again, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get up again. Because I was going into depression.
Okay.
Okay, because the number of rejection, time after time was really getting to me. I sleep a lot. I slept a lot at a time, and that's also one of the signs of depression. And I don't, probably I will function maybe a little bit when the kids or the husband goes to work, go to school. I'll just sleep the whole day. Um, and I think my husband called me out and said that you're not happy. So when I found this, what do you call it, the coach, that's when
Mhm.
he helped me to overcome my,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, wonderful. So we have Elmira watching us live. Hi, Elmira, welcome. And we are talking about fear now and about Suriati's journey so far. So, as I understood, a coach helped you to break free from fear. And would you mind sharing more about that? How the coach has helped you and what happened after that?
Okay, so I told him that if I fail in this, I don't know if I can ever come back.
Mm.
Like I don't know if I can get up again. And he told me that if you want to be an entrepreneur, you got to make failure your best friend, because the more you fail, uh,
Mm.
the better an entrepreneur you will be. Yeah. So what I do? So this is as an exercise that I got, that lady whom I met right recently. I told you. So I got her to do this exercise as well. Okay. So the exercise is, number one, you can write to fear. Right, dear fear.
Hmm.
Yeah, and the whole point is to speak to it like as if it's a person, and just have a conversation. Why am I scared? Okay, what's stopping? That's one thing that you could be doing, and that's the exercise that I got to do from my coach. Another exercise that you could be doing also, which I encourage everyone to do, which I did with this lady, was to write down, like a brain map kind of structure, a circle inside, right? Fear, my fear, and to write the arrows out. When you write the arrows out, it's good for you to write down what exactly is stemming from this fear. Okay, what is it? Okay, like for example, if people, the number one fear in the world is actually public speaking, right, Valeria?
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So if we talk about public speaking, one of the things that people are afraid of, they are afraid of being judged.
Mm.
Another one, they are afraid of embarrassing themselves, right? They will let themselves down. So there's a lot of things that, so it's important to actually identify what is the fear first. Yes. And then once you there is also to go a bit deeper. So you do one by one, right? Write it out. And for each of them, write down, if let's say um if you say I'm scared I will let myself down. The next question you should ask yourself, so what? So what if
Mm.
uh
Love it.
then you go down until to a point that people usually will realize there's nothing to this.
Absolutely. Love it. Love
Yes.
it. And Almira just shared in our chat box that she did similar thing. She wrote a love letter to dad. So this is a really and yesterday I've heard from my mentor, was it the day about, yeah, I think yesterday, one of the mentees spoken with the pain. So I think this is such a deep and powerful exercise to speak with the problem and to direct the problem directly. And yeah, it might sound weird for some people who are not into self development, and yeah, who is not in this environment, but it is a really powerful tool to implement. Thank you so much, Suriati, for mentioning that. What I've done in terms of this letter, I wrote a letter to Money, so dear Money, and going through steps like forgiveness and what I want now with how the relationship to be with Money and to improve it, and so on and so on. So for those watching us live on replay, give it a try. Why not?
Yes.
Speak to your fear directly and see what how you can challenge it directly.
Hmm.
And I would say accept it, because it's fear is normal. It's part of our body, so it's normal. Just accept whatever you are feeling for, or whatever you are fearful for, and do it anyway. And
You
I
know,
really, yeah,
carry on, carry on.
and I really liked what you mentioned there, like having a mind map, like a super map, where you put fear in the middle, and then you go, what kind of fear? So you become more clear. What type of fear is it?
Hmm.
And by digging deeper, and questioning and doubting those fears, you will definitely get to the point, to the deep root, where you will understand that it's just a fear to keep you safe, protected, and it's nothing wrong will happen even if you do this.
Yes.
Mm.
So fear is also, if I think there is the acronym which says false evident appearing real, like what you said, it's not real, it's something that you have in your mind. Valeria, when you break it down, and for some people, uh, public speaking actually brings them back to maybe in school where they were laughed at.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
so that's when it's so important to dig deeper. So for those kind of things, that's like deep rooted in your subconscious. So for that, you might have to go and look and talk to your inner child. Either you might just have to speak to a healer, or another kind of coach, for that, if that is your situation.
True, so true. It's like deep rooted traumas, my call traumas, if it happened, like bullies and so on at school, which keep living with us in our lives. So public speaking, I've heard it's one of the most scariest, as you mentioned, Suriati. So people when go on stage, they feel like the fear is like death, the fear of death. So it's really interesting to see how people can break through this fear through practicing, through doing the actions. I remember myself, it was a bit of struggle to go on stage and speak, and or speak in
Oh,
front of people. But
wow.
yeah, but for doing it through taking actions, doing it and constantly improving more and more and more, you will get better at it. And
Yeah.
fear will fade away, little by little will fade away. So I think one cure to
Look at
to
you now.
eliminate fear is just do it now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Look at you now, Valeria, right? Look at you now. And you're just going on air and doing it. So I love what you said. Just do it now. One of the participants on my course, she lives in UK, and I remember everybody has met because we had like exercises, right? So it's like first it's like just a picture of yourself, because there are people who don't even want to put pictures of themselves out there,
Mm.
right? So because they are afraid of being judged, or there are also issues of body positivity, right? So we had several exercises, and I realized that one participant has not done her first. I think some of them has moved on to the second one, and this person has yet to do it. Okay, so I had a chat with her, and she said, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think okay, yeah, okay, okay. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I said, why don't you do it now? I'll just wait for you, and so
Mm.
that I say hi to you on Facebook Live, right? Because it'll be quite lonely if you do that. And I said, because our course was gonna start like about 15 minutes time. And I said, if you do it now, the others might, be online already because we're going to start soon. They can also jump in and it will not be so scary because then you will have. And she was saying like, yeah, 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 I will do it. But
Mm.
I need to put makeup. I said, put your makeup. How long do you need? It's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Yeah, okay, take 10 minutes then. I'll wait for you. Because I want her to do it because I know she's ready, but she's just trying to procrastinate, right? Also the evidence of of fear that you're procrastinating. And then she said, but later on I'm going to the park. It's much nicer if I do it in the park to do the Facebook live instead of around my place. I said,
Mm.
you can do it now and just say hi and do the assignment, and just talk about what you've learned. You can just do it in 2 minutes. You can talk for 2 minutes. And then when you go to the park, you do it again. Okay, so if cut the story short, she did it. Okay, because I was not gonna let her not do it.
You challenge her.
Okay, because like what you said, you just gotta do it now. And then once she finished, she joined the class, right? Because we're waiting for her, and it's like, yeah, you did it. You know what's the first thing that she said? She said, "It's not that tough, actually." Oh my god, the whole class laughed out loud. It's not that difficult, actually.
That is such a wonderful example. Thank you so much, Suriati, for pointing it out. And it exactly points on procrastination. I've done on Wednesday one live around procrastination, and it exactly pointed out that fear
Mm,
is what causes us to procrastinate. We don't want to take ourselves out of comfort zone. It's
yes,
really safe and cozy to stay where we are and not to expand our boundaries and to improve ourselves.
yes,
And my mentor actually yesterday she has this week masterclass, and yesterday she talked about fear as well. And one of the participants had similar experience with life. So she was sharing with me that she was in front of this phone to click live like
yes.
for hours. She said it took me 4 hours, 4 hours to click, and because of fear, of course. But in the end, she did it anyway. And she said similar, like actually it wasn't that difficult. I
Yeah.
don't know why I've let myself for hours to not do it rather than have a courage, push yourself
Mm-hmm.
and do it. So it's really good, as you mentioned, Suriati, to have a coach or an accountability body to
Yes.
push you in this journey, to give you a nudge so that you do the actions that you are procrastinating or you are fearful about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes. I don't know whether you have seen about Will Smith. Okay, I'm sorry, Will Smith's a
Yeah.
little controversial these days, but when Will Smith decided, I think it was his 50th birthday, and he was gonna jump out on the parachute, remember?
Mhm, mhm.
So one of the things that because the whole night was ruminating, right, thinking his mind was the worst. So the conclusion was, after he did it, he said, what was the point of all that ruminations? What was the point of those bad talking myself?
Mm. So what Suriati mentions here, for those who do not know, it's about Will Smith jumping, skydiving, jumping from a plane,
Mm,
and he had this internal conversation one night before, like, "What on earth am I doing?" Like having all this, like, you might probably have have this language or conversation when you are trying something new or when you are trying something scary. So fear
yes.
kicks in. And as a result of doing it anyway, he said that the blissful moment is on the other side of fear. So it's really important, and I do encourage yourself from this life moving forward. Identify one action that you have been procrastinating, whether it's your business, in your entrepreneurial environment, whether it's in your career, in relationship. One action that you've been procrastinating on because
Mm,
of fear, and you've been fearful to do it. Just do it anyway. Just get the
yes.
courage, yeah, challenge yourself and do it anyway, and you will see that the beauty and what's the saying, um the transformation is
Mm,
on the other side of fear.
yes. Oh, I love that quote. I miss that quote. Transformation. I
Mm.
need to write that somewhere. Transformation is on the other side of fear.
Yeah.
And if we don't go on the other side, then we will not have achieved anything. So, Valeria, is there anything that, I don't know, is there anything for you that you are still procrastinating? Because I just want to mention, for me, I've put up a goal to participate in one marathon, and because I'm reminded of Oprah Winfrey, who says that in your lifetime,
Yeah.
try to do just one marathon, at least one marathon. So I thought, okay, that will be one, but I have been procrastinating it. Like,
Mhm.
can I do it? And then the thought of, training for it. Like, am I up for that? Again, am I just gonna be? I don't. The last thing I want to do is, I don't want to be the last one. All right. So I don't know, Valeria. So, is there anything that is on the card?
Yeah, just you asked me, and I'm questioning my mind. Like, is there anything that I've been procrastinating? I'm such an ambitious person, an action taker, that I don't feel at this moment in time that I'm procrastinating on anything because of fear. I'm just in a transitioning process, in a transformational journey, as everyone is. Like, we all learn.
Yes.
Throughout our, and I'm just exploring myself at this moment in time and getting more guidance. But if anything comes my way that I'm really keen to and interested to do, I do it anyway. I think I've learned throughout my this lifetime that fear is like, it's no point to be fearful. Just do it and then see. And what helped me to build this confidence and attitudes, for those who are watching us live, maybe there you or in replay, you might be interested in reading the U Squared book and
Mm,
the quantum leap strategy, I think, book. So these two books are written by the same author. Unfortunately, I can't remember. I would share the titles under this post, under this live. And these two books, really, like the concepts given in these books is so simple. Everyone has access to them, but not everyone is utilizing them.
mm, mm,
And I've learned that anyway, like, if you have an idea, just implement it. If it's in terms of your business, if what comes first to your mind, reach out to that person, or doing that live, or writing that to 10 prospects a day, or whatever your business is in.
mm,
And you have an intuition like, actually, I might try doing this, even though it feels fearful and scared to do that. Do it anyway, because
mm,
you'll be more rewarded, I think. Isn't it, Suriati? When you break through that fear, you
mm-hmm.
feel more rewarded and you cheer yourself like you cheered that lady who done the live. Isn't it amazing?
Yes, yes, for sure. There are a number of things that people can do to get them there. I think affirmations definitely help. One of the things that I struggled with when I first moved here was to get my driving license, and that was also because I was coming out from my depression, right? And then there's the driving license, which I've been taking such like ages to do it. And I remember my mom saying, I don't know, what is it about? Is it really that difficult? Because you do your masters, you do your what do you call it, your Norwegian class, and you do 2 rounds, and everything is okay. And this one is like, is it that difficult compared to
Mm,
your masters? So I actually, at that time, I was already dabbling with Brock Proctor's work. So I
mhm,
actually did the mirror work. So I said to the mirror, congratulations, Surati, you have a driving license. So I did that. So I did that a lot, because the thought of every time going for the lesson is painful. Because if you do something wrong when you're during your lessons, you'd be like, the driving license, the trainer, the driving, what do you call it, instructor, right? The driving instructor will be, oh no, nah, oh, this and that, this and that. And for me, it's a foreign language also. To be scolded in a foreign language probably feels much worse. And
mhm,
every time, it was a horrible experience driving for the lesson. So it became worse and worse. And instead of me building up my motivation or confidence, it was becoming worse and worse. It's like, oh my God, it's like a very bad lesson again, a bad lesson again. But I decided to just give it a shot and did this. And initially, it was very difficult, right, for me to say I have a driving license because it's painful. Because I'm brought back to all those many times that during the lessons, it's just chaotic and horrendous. But after a while, I got used to it, and lo and behold, something happened. A friend of mine called me, and she said, "You have not finished already? I thought we started this together." And I said, "I'm for the
Mhm.
for the instructor to tell me when I can go to the next level. It is not his job. He's probably just gonna make money from you. How many times you gonna be?" So you say you have to tell him by when do you want to finish. And I said, "Oh, I want to finish before Christmas." There you go. You have to tell him, and it's his job to make sure you get there. Seriously, really, that's how it's done. Yeah, go and do it. I did that, and the rest is history. When I told him that I think I'm ready to drive that route, that difficult route, right? Because whether you're ready or not, I said I think I'm ready to drive there because I drove with my husband, and So how did it go? He said, and I said no one got hurt, and the car is safe. And he said I got a shock of my life when he said, "I guess we're ready to go." I thought he's gonna say you're not ready and blah 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 blah, but he said, "I guess we're ready to do it. The next lesson we'll drive there." So
Yeah.
once I started there, I think the wheel started turning very fast, and then I got my driving license.
Isn't it amazing, like how you can achieve lots of things when you take a committed decision and you make a choice?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it anyway, and that is another thing that can help you break through that fear.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's fearful, scary, blah blah blah, insecure, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna take actions towards achieving that goal. And you see, like a pure example, Suryati's driving license.
Hmm.
Once she's taken a committed decision that and chosen that by that date I'm gonna do it,
Yeah.
so things aligned, and you have more courage, like within yourself, to take the actions
Yes.
and do it anyway.
It's a choice, like what you said. It's a choice. I think, um, whether you want to do it or not, how much do you really want it? From rate yourself. Be honest with yourself. 1 to 10, how much do you really want it? If you 1 to 10 and you want it like it's a 20 for you, then you
Yeah.
better get yourself on it. But I do understand that people find difficult also, right? So the affirmations will help. You do have to work within yourself. For some people it's a matter of just do it. For some people it
Mhm.
will take a bit of time, and maybe those are people who, like I said earlier, they had traumas, so it's not as simple as just pushing them off the cliff. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I think everybody has a different journey. So some people can do it faster. If you think that there's a trauma that's hidden behind your fear, then you need to do something about it. Mm.
It won't go anyway. It will stay with you. So it's better to deal with it and get support, the
Yeah.
professional support to deal with it. Absolutely agree with you, Suryati.
Hmm.
So wonderful. We are almost up to our 30 minutes. And yeah, just to reiterate that everyone can break free from fear by doing the action, by having the courage, by having the right tools. Suryati shared with us a couple of tools earlier. So do go back and rewatch those who are watching us on replay. It's really important to implement. It's not about like we come here not only to discuss, to inspire, to share something. We
Hmm.
come here to share the tools and our experiences so that you can apply those tools in your life and transform your life. That is my scope for these live inspiration shows. So Suryati, final point. What would you like to say to our audience?
I think I just want to say, think about the rainbow and think about the golden pot at the end of that rainbow. And if you don't go over the rainbow, you will never get to experience that golden pot of sunshine. That's it for me.
Love it. So, yeah, take the courage, take the fear in your hands, and do it anyway so that you can experience the gold and you can experience a blissful moment which is on the other side of fear.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Suriati, for coming here on this Life Inspiration Show, for finding the time to share all this wisdom and knowledge with our audience. And yeah, I wish you all a lovely rest of the day and see you soon. Bye bye.